Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for the UK Parent and Family Association's Cat Chat Live. Tonight, we are talking about the University of Kentucky's Fall Welcome Week, known as K-Week. I am Nancy Stevens, and I have the pleasure of overseeing new student and family programs at UK. So I get to work both with the Parent and Family Association and with K-Week. And with me tonight is a marvelous K-Week intern in our office. Allie, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Allie Taylor. I am a student here at UK. I'm a senior this year, which is very exciting. And as Nancy mentioned, I have the pleasure to serve as the K-Week intern this year. So I get to do all kinds of fun things with K-Week, and especially with all of our students and with all of our K-Crew leaders and K-Board. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we literally could not do this without Allie. And then with us behind the scenes is Nikki Jenkins from the UK Parent and Family Association, and she is going to assist with taking any of the questions that you post in the Facebook comments and funneling them to us so we can make sure that you get all of the information that you are seeking about K-Week. Allie, you want to get us started here?
Yes, for sure. So as Nancy mentioned, we're talking about K-Week, which we think is the best way to get started here at UK. This year it's taking place August 19th through the 22nd. So starting a week from today. Again, here's our team. Nancy and Nikki and I, we all introduced ourselves, but here we are again. So some terms are K-Week, K-Crew, and K-Team. I already touched on K-Week a little bit, but that is our welcome week, our fall welcome week for all of our new students. We like to say it's the second part of the orientation process, and it's just a fantastic way. It's 4 days full of events where you can get to know some of the different organizations on campus and get to know some people that you'll be living with, and just it's a great way to make friends and to just find your place here at UK and make it feel more like home before classes start. Another term is K-Crew. These are our upperclassmen student leaders who will get to lead a K-team. So what we call a K-team, which is a group of the new students. If you're living on campus, they are based off of residence halls. So everyone that you will live next to, that your student will live next to, that is who they'll be going throughout K-Week with. So the idea behind that is for them to spend some time getting to know some people that they will see most throughout the semester. And then if your student is living off campus, or if you are living off campus, then those K teams are based off of your zip code. And again, you have a K-Crew leader who will be throughout the entire K-Week process with you. They're an upperclassmen, they know campus so well, and they're ready to answer any and all of the questions that you or your student may have. So next is our K-Week app. So it's the UK Guides mobile app. You can search for it just on the App Store, just UK Guides. And this is going to have everything about K-Week on it. So you can also find all this information on your website, but this has all the details. So if you see, it has the K-Week schedule. On the K-Week schedule, which you see all the way to the right, there's little plus signs. So you or your student can go through and add some really cool events that you definitely want to check out. And that creates your own schedule, so you can go through and really make this experience exactly what you want it to be, so you can get the most out of it. We also have a place where you can meet your K-Crew leader. So those are based off of, so they can find their K-team number, and there will be some information about their K-Crew leader on there. So those are some kind of our fun things that we have on our app. So again, download that right now. Right now, if you get on it, we're still working on updating it. So it might look a little bare right now, but we're uploading a whole lot in these next few days. So definitely keep checking back in, especially throughout the move-in process, and we'll be up and ready to go with everything on our schedule by next Wednesday evening. Same with your K teams. We're trying to get all this changes figured out, that way no one gets a little confused with the last minute K-team number switch. So the event pass, so this is what the university uses to take attendance for events. So it's an event pass is a QR code, which is unique to each UK student. And again, this is what we use for attendance tracking. So this just helps organizations know how many people came to their event, so just how well attended it was, things like that. So again, you'll use this your entire career at UK. So you can go on uky.campuslabs.com/engage. There's a little infographic here on the left. I have mine, and once I found it, it's pretty easy. You'll go to this website, log in, and then there'll be a tab right there. So it's event pass, and your QR code can pop up. I have mine just screenshotted, and it's just in my photos, or a lot of people add them to their Apple Wallet. So this is how all new students will check in at lots of different K-Week events, and Nancy will go through what those events are where this will be used to take attendance. Next, we have the Family Lounge. So this is going to be from Monday, August 14th to Wednesday, August 16th. I'm just realizing these dates are a little funky. So it's actually Monday, August 16th through Wednesday, August 18th. So sorry about that, guys. So the 16th through the 18th. So those are our 3 big move-in days here at UK. So it'll be from 8 to 4 in the Fireside Lounge in the Gatton Student Center, which is right across the hall from the bookstore, where that Starbucks is in the bookstore. So come check it out. You can meet and mingle with different UK staff and student leaders. Sign up for the UK Parent and Family Association to receive our Cat Chat email newsletters. So hopefully you can sign up, and then you can hear about all these fun Cat Chat lives that we're doing right now. So you can enjoy some light refreshments sponsored by UK Housing and fill out a letter from home postcard. Please keep in mind that the university is requiring all individuals, unvaccinated or vaccinated, to wear a mask or face covering while they're inside any buildings. That's the word. Sorry about that, everyone. So inside any building. So mask up, cats. And so Nancy, I think you're going to touch on this a little bit more, and then we will move on.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, the next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are the 3 of our biggest new student move-in days, but we recognize there are students who are moving in prior to that, or starting this weekend even. And so we know that this Family Lounge doesn't cover all of them, unfortunately. Due to limited staffing resources, we could only cover the 3 biggest move-in days, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be left out from these things. Nikki, and I'm going to impose on her to put the the link for the Parent and Family Association sign up in the comments. And then as well, there is an opportunity for you, even if you're not doing the Family Lounge, to send a letters from home postcard to your student. And there's an online link for that as well that will appear in the comments shortly. So if you're moving in your student Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, we hope you'll stop by the Family Lounge and cool off and get some refreshments and get connected with the Parent and Family Association. And if you're not able to, that's all right too. You can still participate in some of these things from home. All right, so by the end of the day on Wednesday, the vast majority of our new students will be in place in their university housing, and hopefully our students living off campus or home, or where they need to be, because K-Week starts on Thursday, a week from today, which is exciting and stunning to me in equal measure. So during the day on Thursday, August 19th, K-Week is starting with something we call Pick Your Path. And I suppose we would have called it Choose Your Own Adventure if that had not been a copyrighted title. But it really is meant to be a day where students can pick what they want to participate in. And so we have departments from all over campus have put together a variety of offerings in 4 different time slots from morning till afternoon. And in each of those time slots, students have 5, 6, 7 different options of what they want to learn more about and explore. Some of those are more academic in nature. I'm thinking, for example, of our Stucker Career Center and the offerings that they have for students who are still exploring their majors. We have some that are more wellness related. Our colleagues with Campus Recreation Outdoor Pursuits are leading a small group hiking at Raven Run. And another group from Campus Recreation and Wellness is doing a meditation walk at the Arboretum. Some are, I think, really creative. I love seeing what our campus departments have put together. Our financial wellness center is doing something they're calling buses and burritos on a budget. Love some good alliteration. And they are talking about, student budgeting and helping them figure out the public transportation system. And I believe they're taking the bus then to Kroger to, think about, again, how much money students maybe need to budget for their food and things like that. So a lot of creative offerings throughout the day on the 19th. And so we encourage your student to look through the full schedule of events when it gets posted online next week. And we encourage them to pick 2 or 3 different options during Pick Your Path that are of most interest to them. There are a few that will require some pre-registration, things like the hiking trip to Raven Run, because there's some transportation involved in that. And so all of that information will be in the K-Week mobile app and on the K-Week website early next week. And then we're really excited to get K-Week kicked off next Thursday night. With the K-Week kickoff, it will be from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's where students will meet their K-teams for the first time. And as Allie mentioned, those K-teams are based on where your student is living. So if they're in the residence halls, their K-team is the other folks who are living around them. Their roommate, their suite mates, the folks in the suites around them. And if they're living off campus, those K-teams are based on their off-campus zip code. So regardless of where they're living, all new students will get together at 6 p.m. that night. Our on-campus students in their residence hall, the K crew will meet them on their floors. And our off-campus students will gather at 6 p.m. in the Gatton Student Center grand ballrooms. And that's where they'll learn a little bit more about K-Week and all the fun that we have planned for them. That's where they'll get to know the other people who are on their K-team. We know that some of our students have not gotten to visit campus all that often, or maybe even at all, depending on if they did a virtual orientation. And so their K-Crew leader is going to walk them around campus that night and help them figure out where some of the major things are that they'll need to know about. And one of those stops on the campus tour will be to pick up their K-Week t-shirt. Students always praise K-Week as being a time that they get a lot of free food and free t-shirts. And so we're going to start them off on Thursday evening with their first of many free t-shirts, and they'll do that as part of their campus tour. And then their K-teams will go over together to Campus Ruckus, which is hosted by the Student Activities Board. And it's a big outdoor involvement fair. More than 200 of our registered student organizations will be represented there. And it's a great opportunity for students to start getting connected, if they haven't already, to some of the organizations on campus and learn a little bit more about the events that they have planned for later in K-Week and later in the fall semester. So it's going to be a great start on the 19th. Then Friday morning, we give students a little bit of a chance to sleep in, and then all new students will be expected to meet with their undergraduate colleges early Friday afternoon. The colleges got to pick their start time, so the meetings don't all go from 1 to 5 p.m., but in that window, all new students will be meeting with their colleges. And again, the details will be found early next week on the K-Week website and in the UK Guides mobile app. But it's very important for them to attend that college meeting, but there'll be good information from their college that they won't want to miss out on. And then after they've had a chance to grab some dinner, they will meet back up with their K teams, and they will all head over to Kroger Field for Wildcat Welcome, which is where they'll be officially inducted into the university. And then for the UK Athletics Pep Rally, known as Big Blue U. So both are going to be really fun, exciting events. It's going to be exciting for our students to be in Kroger Field. Maybe many of them, it might be their first time. And so we'll want to make sure that they meet up with their K team and head on over to that together. Allie, do you have any favorite memories from being inducted into the university or from Big Blue U?
Yeah, so at Wildcat Welcome, they give you a nice little tassel to help you be focused on the goal of graduation. And I actually hung mine up on this little corkboard that I made during a K-Week event above my desk. And I actually had that with me all year. So when I was feeling a little down in the dumps after maybe a rough exam, I was like, you know what, the goal is graduation, maybe not to do great on this exam, the end goal is graduation. So we just got to get there. So as a senior, I'm close. Hopefully nothing too drastic happens, but
yeah,
definitely the class picture at Big Blue U. That's that's something so special that I have that photo hanging up and I'll get to have it forevermore. So.
Yeah, the class photo is the traditional into Big Blue U, and we're excited to be able to do that this year. And don't tell your students about the graduation tassel. That's a surprise. Allie gave you a special spoiler alert. I love it. And we know that parents and families are interested in seeing their student be inducted into the university. And so we will be live streaming that on YouTube, and the link is on the K-Week website and in the K-Week mobile app. So I encourage you to look for that. I'm seeing that a question has come in asking about opportunities for sophomores to do the class photo. Unfortunately, last fall, due to COVID, we were not able to hold Big Blue U in its traditional in-person format, and therefore our rising sophomores didn't get a chance to do that class photo. The university is committed to making sure that they get that opportunity. We knew that many of them would not be moved in time to do it as part of this year's K-Week. And honestly, I'm assuming that there are some of them who maybe didn't want to get lumped in and having their photo taken the same night as the incoming student photo. So the university is working on opportunities early this fall to celebrate our sophomores and all that they went through last year, and to give them a chance to get their class photo taken. So we'll share more information about that as we have it. Plans are coming together even this week. There have been meetings about it. So we're committed to making that happen for our sophomores and are excited about being able to offer it to our new students this year. And then Saturday is going to be a fun event. This is where students will get a chance to pick and choose what is most important to them, how they want to spend their time. We do have, events like the college meetings and like some of those K-team gatherings where we take attendance. We, expect all of our new students to attend, but then really so many of the events on the K-Week schedule allow students to pick and choose based on their interests and their priorities. And so Saturday is going to be a great day for them to see what many of our registered student organizations have planned for them. Those events are not in the K-Week schedule yet because there are so many of them. I think we got more than 100 submissions from our registered student organizations and campus departments for K-Week. So we're still, crossing those T's, dotting those I's on the K-Week schedule of events. And as we mentioned a couple times, it will be uploaded into the K-Week website and the UK Guides mobile app early next week. So encourage your student to really take a look at all that's going on. There are a wide variety of different organizations who are represented there, academic ones, many of our campus religious organizations, just so many different ones to choose from. It's gonna be really fun. And then Sunday is going to be a little bit more of the same. We've given our student organizations the chance to have additional events in that 8 to 4 window. Oddly enough, I don't think we got a lot of submissions for 8 a.m., but you never know. And then we'll wrap up K-Week on Sunday, knowing that classes are starting on Monday, August 23rd. We're going to convene the K-teams one last time at some point in that window between 4 and 7 p.m. The K-teams will select when they want to meet. So students will hear from their K crew about whether they might be going to grab a snack together, or get a cup of coffee, or maybe grab dinner together. We'll give them a chance to get their K-team picture made. We'll be on the walkway to William T. Young Library if they want to come and get a K-Week picture made. And then the wrap up after that for the evening is Catapalooza, which is a huge open house extravaganza in the Gatton Student Center with lots of free things and really just activities spread all over the building, and a great chance to see about the many different offices and student organizations that are represented within that space. So I know that was a lot of detail about the schedule, but again, that UK Guides mobile app and the K-Week website are going to be the best sources of information for students about the schedule. We do not expect that they will have to have it all memorized. And when they move into their residence halls, or when they arrive for that first KT meeting, if they're an off-campus student, we'll have a poster for them to hang up in their rooms that have all of those major K-Week events, so that they've got a little cheat sheet with them to know where they're expected to be and what different opportunities they have during K-Week. Allie, you want to talk a little bit about when attendance will be taken and how it will be taken as a reminder for folks?
Yes, for sure. First, I see a question in the chat that Nikki gave us about when students will be able to find out their K-team number. So we hope to have those up on the app by Wednesday, late afternoon or evening. We know that may be a little bit later than what our new students like. They like to know know who their K crew leader is, things like that. But we're trying to, things switch around last minute. So we're trying to get all of our changes around before we put anything up on the schedule. That way a new student may not get confused because their K team changes and they don't realize it. So Wednesday, the 18th, the day before K week starts, in the late afternoon, evening. So there's that question. So attendance. So Nancy and I already talked about this just a tad bit. So attendance is taken anytime K teams get together, which is at our K week kickoff on that first night, and then Wildcat Welcome and Big Blue U, that combined event the next day, and then finally at the K week wrap up before Catapalooza. So that'll be taken using that event pass, which is that QR code, and we just use these to kind of track student success. So we know, what's the success rate of our students who stay for a second year or even graduate, depending on how many K-week events they went to. So that's just something for us. And then attendance is taken at college meetings. That's not through us, that's through their college. So if they do happen to have to miss that event or that college meeting for any reason, they need to go ahead and reach out to their academic advisor and let them know, because again, they'll get some important information from their college during that time. And it's a good idea for all new students to bring their Wildcat ID, which is their student ID, and that event pass, that QR code on their phone, to all UK events. Really, it's a good time to have those with you anytime you come to campus, or anytime at all. So that's it for attendance. So next is just making the most out of K week. So again, this is a very long week. It's a very fun week, fun 4 days between, and really just a week for everybody, for all of our new students and all of you all as families. It's also probably a very emotional week for a lot of you. So with move-in at the beginning of the week, and then K week, and then the first day of classes that next day. These are just some ways to make the most of K week. So have your students put themselves out there and be proactive. So no one's been to college before, right? This is a new experience for everyone. So what's nice about that, everyone's a little awkward. So don't worry, your student will not be alone if they're feeling a little uncomfortable. Everyone's feeling a little uncomfortable, but they will feel more comfortable if they put themselves out there a little bit. And our K crew leaders are there to help with that too. So they love a good icebreaker. They're always ready to go to start conversations and to get people to know each other. And again, just making the schedule just really work for you, for your new students. So again, I mentioned on the schedule tab on our app, there's that little plus sign where they can go through and personalize their schedule, so it doesn't look so overwhelming when they just scroll and see 30 events all at one day. They can make it more custom to them. And then just giving themselves times to recharge. So again, this is a very long emotional week. So if they need to, not go to an event, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Or for me, I'm one of those rare college students who does not like to be up past 9 or 10 a.m. That's when I go to bed. So, if they're the same way, I'll hang out with them bright and early in the morning, but they don't have to go to all those events that last until midnight if they don't want to. And then they have such a big support system that's already here ready for them when they come, based off of their K crew leaders, RDs, RAs that they'll see in their hall, their peer mentors, and then any kind of staff. So they'll meet a whole big academic support system during the college meetings on that second day of K week as well. So encourage them to ask for help and support when you need it, and then just check the UK email daily. So I've already spoken it into existence. It will not rain all next week. Just go ahead and mark your calendars. Will not rain, but should it rain, we have rain plans for everything, and we'll let them know about any kind of event changes using their email. So that's pretty important. So Nancy, I think you want to take over for the tips for families.
Yep, absolutely. So we know that families are often curious about what role they may have during K week. And so while there are no K week events for parents and families to attend beyond, again, encouraging you to stop by that family lounge at the Gatton Student Center prior to K week during those 3 main new student move-in days. So while there are no events for you all to attend, we do know that you have a role in supporting your student and their transition that they're making to the university. And so we have some tips for you as well. We encourage you to ask your student what K week events they are attending. And I think you can use that as a sign of how their transition is going. Maybe if they're saying that they're not attending a whole lot, maybe it's because they're really nervous about putting themselves out there. How are they going to find folks to go with? I mean, that's really what the whole K team system is about. Or maybe they're not going to K week events because they, have found folks who are like, oh, you don't need to go to that. It's really not that important. And obviously we would beg to differ on that. These events have been put together for a reason, knowing what we know about the college student transition experience. And honestly, often, and Allie, you may have heard these stories as well in selecting this year's K Crew. I find that there are two types of students who tend to apply for K Crew to be part of K Week as a returning student. And they're students who either came to K Week, went to everything, had an amazing experience, and they want to do it again. But just as often, sometimes it seems that we have students who didn't go to a lot of K Week events and realized after the fact what they missed out on and regret that. And part of the reason they joined K Crew was to get another shot at it and to try to encourage students not to make the same mistake they did. So for whatever reason, regardless, ask your student what events they're attending, and again, encourage them to attend as many as they possibly can. It's just a good time to connect with others who are looking to meet new people, and helps them spend or feel a little bit more comfortable on campus before those classes get started. We hope you'll also encourage your students to invite others to join them for meals or events. As Allie was saying, everybody feels a little bit awkward, and everybody is looking for folks that they can, make friends with, or even just go to an event with. It doesn't have to be a commitment for a lifelong friendship, but we know that some of our students are a little bit more outgoing than others, but maybe with some encouragement from you, your student might be willing to, knock on the door next to them and say, hey, I'm going to go grab dinner. Would you be interested in going with me? Or, hey, let's check out this K Week event together. I'd love to walk over with you. So, they'll hopefully have good experiences by doing that, but it's important for them to take the steps and get out of the room to meet new people. I've told new students for years that it's hard to meet people if you don't ever leave your room. We also want you and your student both to know that there are a ton of things for them to do on and around campus, both during K Week and then after K Week. And so a tip that we have for you is that if you and your students follow the University of Kentucky social media accounts, the Parent and Family Association social media accounts, K Week, our Student Activities Board, and even Visit Lex, our local Convention and Visitors Bureau, there are lots of ideas for things for students to do on and around campus. And you can always share those with your students, or ask them if they have thought about checking, a local festival out, or, a cool event that SAB is doing, that kind of thing. Again, we know that your students are entering a time of transition, and we would love to think that it will be super smooth for them the whole time, but we know that, they may have questions, they may, hit a roadblock, something like that. So anything you could do to encourage your student to reach out for support on campus if they need it would be welcome. There are plenty of people who are here, our student leaders, our faculty, our staff, and so on. Plenty of people who are eager to help, but they can only help if they know what the need is. And so encourage your student to reach out. If they call or text you and express a concern or a challenge that they're experiencing, encourage them to reach out to folks on campus for assistance. And then, because we cannot say it enough times, remind your student to check their UK email daily. There's so much important information that goes out that way, and we don't want them to miss out on things that they'll need to know. And then, speaking of contact information, we and reaching out for help, we want you all to know how to reach our K Week team. The best way to reach us via email is at kweek@lsv.uky.edu. Our phones are probably the second best way to reach us. We're trying to answer those as quickly as possible, while also running in a million different directions, trying to get the loose ends tied up to make K Week happen. And then, of course, our website and our Twitter and Instagram accounts are all up there as well. So speaking of questions and reaching us to get more information, Nikki, are there any other questions that folks may have that we can address? We'll give folks a minute or two to maybe think of of questions. And again, put those in the comments. We're happy to respond to as many of them as we can live. A couple of things that I'll mention while folks are hopefully typing questions. We definitely get questions as K Week is coming around. We get questions every year about the what transfer students can participate in. We are very intentional that K Week is for all incoming students, so both our first-time freshmen and our transfer students. We know our transfer students bring a different experience into the university because they do have some college experience. And so, if they want to participate in K teams, if they're living in a university residence hall, they'll be able to find their K team assignment in the UK Guides mobile app. If they're living on campus and want that K team experience, they can go to the K team for their off-campus zip code. There will be at least one or two events that I can think of that are specifically for transfer students that our campus partners have put together. And of course, they're welcome to attend any of the other K Week events of interest to them. The other thing that we hear, and we're hearing it even more this year because of the experience of doing last K Week in the middle of a global pandemic, is what sophomores can attend. One, I think this has kind of been a secret, although we've not meant for it to be a secret. We've tried to spread the word. Returning students have always been welcome to attend K Week social events, things like Campus Ruckus, things like those student organizations, events and open houses. So sophomores and other returning students are welcome to attend those K Week social events. And we would encourage them to do so, especially if they feel like maybe they have not gotten as connected as they wanted to because of the circumstance last year or so on. So lots of ways for transfers and sophomores and returning students to take advantage. One question that has been posed that I'll address is about commuting students participating in K Week. There is free parking available during K Week in both the periphery lots, the K lots out at Kroger Field, as well as the Cornerstone Garage, which is also known as parking structure number 5, that's on North Campus across from the Gatton Student Center. That free parking is, again, just for K Week from the 19th to the 22nd. It's to give students a chance, if they don't already have their parking permits and still taking care of some of that business, they'll still have a free place to park. And then our off-campus student services colleagues are helping us support those off-campus K teams, because again, we know that our students who are living off campus and commuting, maybe that's from a nearby apartment complex, maybe that's from home, maybe home is in a surrounding county. We know that they all have different needs, and so we're looking to support those as best we can. Allie, any other tips and things about K Week that we haven't touched on yet?
I think we've covered a whole lot of things. And again, just keep on checking our app and keep finding different events to encourage your students to go to. Keep encouraging them to go out there and take some pictures and make some new friends and just put themselves out there. It's a great time. Like Nancy mentioned, one of the favorite parts that all new students have is all the free things that they get. People say they're stocked up on t-shirts. They don't do laundry for an extra week, which is always very exciting to do all those. So I do also see a question that was posed about was August 20th, the only event where attendance was taken. So I can actually probably be easier if I just go back to that slide instead of me just trying to tell it to you all. So attendance is taken anytime our K teams get together. So that is on our K Week kickoff on that first night on the 19th, and then our Wildcat Welcome Big Blue U on the 20th, and then our K Week wrap up on the 22nd. That is when our office, when the K crew leaders will take attendance using that event code. And then on the 20th is the college meetings, and that attendance is taken through the college. So that's definitely a little bit more required than most of them. So again, if your student can't make that for any reason, they definitely need to reach out to their academic advisor, because the college is the one who takes attendance for that. So hopefully that answered your question.
I know that folks may, have been trying to take in all this information. We know we presented a lot pretty quickly. So if you do want to watch this video later, you'll find it on the Parent and Family Association Facebook page. You'll also find it on the Cat Chat Live website, which you can do a quick Google search of UKY Cat Chat Live, and it should take you right there. That's one of the trade secrets that we always try to pass on to incoming students and to the families of incoming students, is that a Google search of UKY, and whatever you're searching for will often get you where you need to be on the university websites. Any other questions that we have not addressed, Nikki? All right, it seems like hopefully we have provided you all the information that you're seeking about K-Week. If not, don't hesitate to reach out to our team, and we are so excited to welcome our incoming Wildcats here in the next few days. It is going to be an exciting time on campus, and I hope our new students have the best experience with it. Any final words, Allie?
Thank you all for coming and learning. And again, we're so excited to see you all next week for move in and for K-Week, and then the start of classes that next day. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, we wish you and your students the very best with this transition. Thanks so much and take care.